Hello Content Vaulters, this is Andrea Cowdy from Virtualissimo, and today I want to talk to you for a few minutes about why people abandon creating their content halfway through. I know that many of you will know what I'm talking about because you would have blogs lying half done in your documents folder, videos on your phone that you never published, and even pictures that you put in a folder to edit or touch up later, and you just never got around to it for whatever reason. So I broke the reasons down to basically 6 points, and they're very stereotypical. You will see as I'm going through them, and I hope that you recognize yourself in one of these and will find the tips that I give you useful to actually make a move on your content. So one of the the first one that I want to share with you is purpose. And you're probably looking at this and going, why am I writing back to front the wrong way? Unfortunately, I don't have the facility at the moment to turn it into a mirror image. But anyway, so this says purpose. So maybe you weren't clear on the purpose of why you're creating your content in the first place. So you just sat down thinking, okay, I'm just going to write a blog, and started writing, and you realized that it wasn't going anywhere. That's because you didn't have a specific purpose for why you were writing it. Now, what you can do to avoid this is actually creating a content plan for yourself and then sticking to it. That way you don't just have to pick topics out of thin air and then trying to write or create content around it. You actually have a plan. Okay, now the second one that I have is intent. Intent. You might have had an idea for a piece of content a couple of months ago, and you wrote it down, and now you just whipped it up and thought, okay, I'm gonna create content around this, but you realize that the intent for the original idea is no longer aligned with what you're doing now, and it just won't match. So you realize that it's just not going anywhere. So what can you do to actually shift this? Well, you can come up with a similar idea, or you can just tweak on the idea to make it more aligned with what you're doing right now. Okay, the third one, scope. This is, some people might find this a big one. Scope is when you have an idea, you think it's awesome, and you start working on it, and then you realize, oh gosh, this is actually a lot bigger than I realized. And especially if you're researching a particular topic, you know, how far in depth do you go, or do you want to go? Do you have the energy or the time to actually expand on the topic in the depth that you want to go into? So you have two choices. You can scale it down and do a general overview of a topic, or you can actually break it down into smaller chunks. Break it down into smaller chunks that are more manageable, and you actually get a few different pieces of content out of it. So at the end of the day, you'll come out ahead. Okay, next one is vision. This is where you start creating a piece of content, and then you realize that the actual media that you're creating it on is no longer the best type of media for that particular content. Now, what do? Don't abandon it. Just switch to the type of media that is better for that content, whether it's a short piece that you wanted to write for your Instagram, or it's better for a video that you can publish on Facebook Live. And excuse my son in the background, it's school holidays and he is at home. The things we have to put up with as working mums. Okay, now the next one is another big one, content interrupters. What do you do with that? when you create something that showcases everything that you have, it becomes your core content, or it would become your core content if you published it. It is fantastic and amazing, and it has all your awesomeness in it, and you look at it and go, this is just too good. I can't possibly put this out there, because what happens if I become successful with it? Believe it or not, this is something that happens. And I can speak to that myself, because this has happened to me. Well, all the other stuff has happened to me as well, but this one for me was quite a biggie. So what do you do with this? This is actually a mindset issue. So there is no set advice that I can give you to overcome this, other than work on your mindset. If you need to connect with a coach to help you overcome this mindset issue, then do that. If you're just happy to coach your own and work on it on your own, then do that. But believe me, this is a mindset issue, and that's what you need to work on. And last but not least, we've got the perfectionist, and this is also a mindset issue, and the same solution applies as it does for the interrupted content issue. This is where you just keep putting off publishing your content because you don't think it's good enough. You always tweak on it, you always edit it, you get it out every once in a while, every couple of weeks, but you never actually publish it. This is indeed a mindset issue, and the only way to overcome this, again, is to work on your mindset. So I hope that these stereotypical content abandoning issues have shed some light to why you're not publishing any content, or why you keep abandoning your content. If you need any help with anything like this, please do let me know. We can work out what your issue is and how to move forward. So until next time, we'll see you in the content vault.